Thank you, Madam Chair. I rise to explain my vote.
Proceed.
And to drop my papers, I'm sorry. Madam Chairman, members, you know, I think we had 4.5, 5-hour discussion about this bill in committee. But the state as a whole, Madam Chair, I would surmise, have had about a year-long discussion minimum of this bill and this topic as a whole. And I think the state is pretty clear in what they feel about this thing called Common Core, whatever name and warm and fuzzy name you want to slap on top of it now. The people of this state do not like Common Core, or whatever name you want to insert. How do I know that? Well, I think simply looking at our superintendent race alone was a pretty good indication. I think looking at national trends is also a pretty good indication. And I think when you look at party lines, you've had teachers, the people that we charge to actually implement this ridiculous thing, stand up at their board meetings and say how poor it is. You know, it kind of boggles my mind that after all of that, we're going to come back here and not give the people what they want. You might hear that other states have tried this and they're going to be maybe punished somehow, some way. Well, that's not true. Oklahoma just did this, and they weren't punished with withholding of federal dollars. Matter of fact, Bobby Jindal, I mentioned this in committee, Louisiana governor, the day of our committee discussion about this, says he's now once again suing over Common Core, and his quote was, "We will not accept this one-size-fits-all approach to our children's education." I just don't understand what else we need out there to help our children learn the right way. We invested all of this money in this wonderful park system that we flushed down the toilet and wasted that money with. But now we're going to try another system because that one's going to be better. We can trust that one. No, I don't think we can. And for my Republican colleagues, I'll just remind them that the National Republican Committee wrote a resolution decrying Common Core, saying that it's an inappropriate overreach to standardize and control the education of our children so they will conform to a perceived normal behavior. And I'm going to leave this example, as I've mentioned many times. I always kind of throw this little caveat out there because my wife is a teacher, my brother's a teacher, my sister's a teacher, and there's a lot of teachers in my family. Now, my brother, who's in this state, who's a teacher, teaches the grade level for Common Core, will be the first to say as a math teacher, I can get our children to get the right answer quicker than what these standards do. I've got to slow down my entire methodology of teaching so they can answer it in the right way. It doesn't matter that it's right anymore. I thought that was what we wanted. Outcomes, outputs, not inputs in our education system. But unfortunately, we are not receiving that. And Madam Chair, I will end on this. The name in of itself is its own indictment on this thing. Common Core. We've all heard this before, but it's so true. There is nothing common about the way our children are, about the way that they learn, or about the environment that they grow up in. And I think if we truly care about school choice, we need to repeal this abomination of a program and actually let school choice reign. And actually let the states do a funny thing like, I don't know, create their own policy as was decreed by the federal government in 1965. With that, I vote yes.